The Sony PlayStation, the iconic game console that started a dynasty, would function as a home to many titles that are now considered classics. Tomb Raider, Crash Bandicoot, Final Fantasy VII, Metal Gear Solid and more could all be experienced on it. However, in Japan, this legendary system featured even more cool games that were released exclusively in the country. Last month we already looked at some of these, and since over 100,000 of you enjoyed that episode, I felt it was only fair that we cover even more of these amazing gems. So, with that said, I am Lady Decade, and these are more fantastic Japanese PlayStation exclusives they wouldn't let us play. Let's dive straight in. You shouldn't really talk about PlayStation games that never left Japan without talking about the now infamous Pepsi Man. Pepsi Man is a unique and somewhat cult classic video game that showed up on the hardware in 1999. Developed and published by Kid, the game showcases the Pepsi Man character, who served as the superhero mascot for Pepsi at the time. Possessing the extraordinary ability to deliver the beloved carbonated drink to individuals in dire thirst, Pepsi Man is a peculiar character in the marketing realm. Throughout his promotional tenure in Japan, Pepsi Man graced the screens in a total of 13 distinct Pepsi commercials, each showcasing his unique and entertaining adventures. But what would his PS1 game bring to the table? Well, the gameplay of Pepsi Man is a mix of endless running and action. Players take control of Pepsi Man as he dashes through various environments, collecting Pepsi cans scattered throughout the levels. The main objective is to deliver refreshing Pepsi to thirsty people while navigating through obstacles, traffic and other hazards. The game's levels are filled with quirky scenarios, often involving humorous and exaggerated obstacles that Pepsi Man must overcome. Whether it's dodging cars on busy highways or navigating through tight spaces, the challenges keep the gameplay entertaining and fast-paced. Due to meme culture, Pepsi Man has continued to gain a following over the years, thanks to its unconventional premise, entertaining gameplay, and the inherent charm of the Pepsi Man character. Despite its initial release being limited to Japan, the game has become known to international audiences through emulation and fan communities, bolstered by satirical video game reviews produced by the likes of James Rolfe. The game is completely ridiculous, but ridiculous in the best way possible. Also released in 1999, we have Racing Lagoon, a video game developed and published by Square for the system. This unique title successfully manages to blend the genres of role-playing games and street racing, resulting in one of the most original experiences available on the Sony PlayStation. While it gained a certain level of acclaim in its homeland of Japan at the time, to this very day it has remained relatively unknown internationally. Set in a fictional city, Racing Lagoon offers players a narrative-driven experience complete with character interactions, a well-developed plot, and various quests to undertake. The RPG aspects extend beyond the story, as players are tasked with customizing and upgrading their cars for optimal performance. Gamers can fine-tune various aspects of their vehicles, such as engines, tyres and body kits, opening up a lot of options for those who enjoy experimenting. The racing segments are not just about speed and skill, they incorporate real-time battles against opponents. Players must strategically navigate through the urban environment, overtaking rivals and avoiding obstacles to secure victory. The game is well crafted, allowing players to immerse themselves in the underground racing culture that forms the backdrop of the narrative. On the subject of the game's story, illegal street racing was huge in Japan during the 80s, thus influencing the creation of this game. Building on this, the title also includes an excellent musical score from the talented Noriko Matsueda, who seamlessly blended jazz and techno elements to create a unique and immersive fusion. Surprisingly, reviews were mixed for this one on release, which may explain why Square didn't bother to release it internationally. Still, with an English fan translation being released in November 2022, now you can all try this game for yourself. 1999 would be a great year for Japanese PlayStation exclusives, as gamers in the region would also get Poppin' Tanks. Poppin' Tanks is a captivating title that was crafted by the talented team at Symbio Systems and brought to life by Enix. This tank combat extravaganza was shepherded under the directorial prowess of Jun Matsumoto, complemented by the distinctive character designs of renowned manga artist Mine Yoshizaki. Set against a backdrop of intense tank warfare, Poppin' Tanks thrust players into one-on-one battles with a three-dimensional gaming environment. The narrative unfolds with the malevolent Talon, a despot who has lost control of his newly developed tank, Petite Tank. Now in the hands of the player, this powerful war machine becomes the focal point of a mobilised empire determined to reclaim its prized possession. The game unravels as a 1 versus 1 shooting action experience, immersing players in the intricacies of tank combat. There are two distinctive gameplay modes, namely Story, the main campaign, and Tank World, a sort of versus mode. In Tank World, players engage in battles against either human or computer-controlled opponents. This provides an astonishing 300 different customizable options, allowing players to switch cannon parts to tailor a vehicle of destruction to your needs. The arsenal at players' disposal includes both long-range and short-range weaponry, enhancing the tactical possibilities during combat. These can be saved to the Sony PlayStation memory card and accessed at gamers' leisure. The game incorporates long anime videos to narrate its storyline, boasting an art design that draws inspiration from anime aesthetics that all you weebs watching this will absolutely adore. For a PS1 game, the graphics are great, with each tank boasting approximately 450 polygons for rendering. Games Republic noticed that the game's engine strives for realism, replicating elements such as tread physics, suspension dynamics, and engine exhaust, with even the tank's suspension visibly bending when it makes turns. So with all of this said, why not check out this treasure trove of a tank warfare experience for yourself? Tear Ring Saga is a 2001 tactical role-playing game that holds a unique position in the gaming world. Developed by Tear Nanog, a company founded by Shuzu Kaga, the same mastermind behind the acclaimed Fire Emblem series. In fact, controversy arose because Tear Ring Saga was perceived by many to be a game that was too similar to Fire Emblem, both in terms of gameplay mechanics and overall design. The similarities were so striking that Nintendo took legal action against Tear Nanog and Shuzu Kaga, claiming that the game infringed on their intellectual property rights. Nintendo argued that Tear Ring Saga copied essential elements of the Fire Emblem series, including the grid-based tactical gameplay, character designs, and other gameplay mechanics. The legal battle that ensued focused on whether Tear Ring Saga constituted a violation of Nintendo's copyright and trademark rights. Ultimately, the court ruled in favour of Tear Nanog and Shuzu Kaga, stating that while there were similarities between Tear Ring Saga and Fire Emblem, there were also significant differences. The court acknowledged that the two games shared common elements inherent to the tactical role-playing game genre, but concluded that these elements were not exclusive to Fire Emblem. While it's possible to dismiss a connection between the two series, Tear Ring Saga manages to carve out its own identity within the tactical RPG genre. Shuzu Kaga's influence on the tactical RPG genre is now the stuff of legends, so if you like his offerings on Nintendo platforms, then you should find similar enjoyment from this one. Nekketsu Oyako, or Hot-Blooded Family, stands as a notable 1994 entry in the beat-em-up genre, a creation by Technosoft renowned for the Thunder Force series, marking their debut and sole venture into the beat-em-up domain. In the year 2064, the Hibino family, who seem normal, actually have a special secret. Seiko Hibino, a regular-looking mum, used to be a super smart kid and made a powerful antimatter fusion reactor when she was just 17. Bad guys from the Haraguro-dan gang want to use her skills for a dangerous plan, so they kidnap her. Her family members rally together and they are ready to save her. The gameplay adheres to the quintessential arcade-style beat-em-up formula, offering players a choice among 3 distinct characters: Rando, Ryo and Tora. Each character boasts a unique set of special moves to employ strategically. Additionally, they can wield and discharge weapons and execute a powerful desperation move, adding depth to the combat experience. It is worth noting that Nekketsu Oyako has no affiliation with the more widely recognised Kunio-kun series, standing on its own as a testament to Technosoft's versatility in gaming genres. This title not only showcases the prowess of the Thunder Force creators, but also presents an engaging narrative and gameplay experience within the beat-em-up realm. Considering that games of this genre were not common during the era of the Sony PlayStation, then if you are a fan of this console and games of this kind, Hot Blooded Family might be a title that you choose to seek out. Mizzurna Falls is a survival horror game developed by Human Entertainment and released exclusively in Japan for the Sony PlayStation in 1998. Directed by Shinya Kawai, the game is notable for its unique open-world structure, a feature not commonly found in other survival horror titles of that era. The narrative of Mizzurna Falls centers around the mysterious disappearance of Betty, a high school student from the fictional town of Mizzurna Falls. Players assume the role of Matthew, another student who takes upon himself to investigate the unsettling circumstances surrounding Betty's vanishing act. One of the standout features of the game is its open-world environment, allowing players to explore the town and its surroundings freely. This departure from the more linear and confined settings typical of survival horror games at the time provided a refreshing and immersive experience. As players navigate the eerie locales, they unravel a narrative rife with supernatural elements, conspiracies, and strange phenomena that contribute to the game's mysterious atmosphere. Despite its intriguing premise and innovative gameplay mechanics, Mizzurna Falls did not achieve widespread recognition beyond Japan. However, over the years it has garnered a dedicated cult following among gamers who appreciate its unconventional approach to storytelling and atmospheric presentation. The game's obscurity may be attributed to its limited release and lack of localization for international audiences. Nonetheless, its reputation has grown, with fans praising its exploration-based gameplay, intricate plots, and the sense of unease created by the town's atmospheric design. Mizzurna Falls has become a hidden gem within the survival horror genre, appealing to those looking for something nostalgically familiar, but at the same time, completely new to them. Macross VFX 2 is an action-packed video game that draws its inspiration from the iconic Macross anime series. Developed by Unit and published by Bandai, this game was exclusively released for the Sony PlayStation in Japan in 1999. In Macross VFX 2, players delve into the thrilling world of mecha combat, piloting variable fighters, a staple in the Macross universe. These advanced fighter planes have the unique ability to transform between three distinct modes: Fighter, Gearwalk, and Batroid. The game offers a great play experience that allows players to engage in intense aerial battles against formidable enemy forces. The gameplay features a combination of space and atmospheric combat scenarios, adding variety and challenge to the missions. Players can choose from a roster of characters and mechs from across the Macross series, each with its own set of skills and capabilities. The transformation mechanics of the variable fighters adds an extra layer of strategy and charm to this one, allowing players to adapt to different combat situations when needed. Set against the backdrop of the Macross universe, known for its blend of mecha action, romantic elements, and captivating music, Macross VFX 2 captures the essence of what Macross is and why it's so beloved. Policenauts is a video game developed and published by Konami, which stands out as a distinctive entry in the graphic adventure genre. Released initially in 1994 for the NEC PC 9821, the game later found its way onto various platforms including the PlayStation, 3DO, and Sega Saturn. The title holds particular significance in the gaming world due to its association with Hideo Kojima, the visionary game designer renowned for creating the Metal Gear series. The game unfolds in a futuristic setting where humanity has established colonies on the moon, offering a unique backdrop for the game's enticing story. Players assume the role of Jonathan Ingram, a former detective turned policenaut, essentially a police astronaut, tasked with maintaining law and order in space. Jonathan becomes embroiled in a complex investigation that encompasses a series of enigmatic events, including the disappearance of his ex-wife. Policenauts marries traditional point-and-click adventure mechanics with a cinematic presentation, a characteristic feature of Kojima's directorial style. The game boasts voice acting, animated cutscenes, and meticulous attention to detail, creating an immersive experience that no one will forget anytime soon. As a genre hybrid, it combines elements of science fiction, cyberpunk, and film noir, offering a rich tapestry of themes that delve into love, loss, and the societal repercussions of advanced technology. One of the game's strengths lies in its storytelling. Kojima, known for his intricate ability to tell a tale, weaves a compelling story full of well-developed, rich characters. The game's atmosphere and world building contribute to its unique charm, resulting in a work of art that is right up there with the likes of Snatcher. Despite this one's apparent greatness, sadly it did not achieve the same commercial success as some of Kojima's later endeavours. However, it has still managed to garner a dedicated following over the years, appreciated for its thought-provoking narrative and distinctive blend of thematic elements. In retrospect, Policenauts is often regarded as a hidden gem in the adventure game genre. Policenauts remains an intriguing and essential title to explore. A few months ago on my channel, I covered fantastic Super Nintendo games that were released in Europe that Americans couldn't play. Amongst the best of the best, I placed a hidden gem known as the Firemen. Perhaps even more obscure and flying even further under the radar is the Firemen 2, Pete and Danny. This PlayStation obscurity is relatively undiscussed in the world of retro gaming, offering yet another fun and engaging firefighting experience. Released in 1996, this sequel to the original SNES title builds upon its predecessor's foundation, delivering an action-adventure game that stands out in the crowded, polygon-rich gaming landscape of the period. This title once again throws players into the roles of Pete and Danny, intrepid firefighters tasked with battling blazes and saving lives. What sets the Firemen 2 apart is its cooperative gameplay, allowing two players to join forces and navigate the challenging levels together, a function that wasn't available with the predecessor even though an NPC would help the player. This cooperative element adds an extra layer of enjoyment, fostering teamwork as players strategize to extinguish fires and rescue survivors, arguably making this the quintessential firefighting experience of the generation, perhaps delivering something that has aged even more gracefully than the Sega Saturn classic Burning Rangers. The graphics, while not groundbreaking, showcase a significant improvement over the SNES version. The developers clearly utilise the capabilities of the PlayStation to enhance visuals and create a more immersive environment. The atmospheric soundtrack complements the intense gameplay, adding to this one's fun factor. The game has great level design, which presents players with a variety of engaging environments, which each pose unique challenges. From burning buildings to industrial complexes, the game keeps the firefighting action fresh and engaging. Is this one of the most underrated and forgotten games of a generation? Comment below and add your thoughts. Another great Super Famicom exclusive, and actually one of which I have yet to cover on here in the past, is Umara Kaw Shan, but let's jump straight ahead and cover its successor, Umara Kaw Shan, for the PlayStation. Crafted by Studio Saizensen, this installment is the second in the Umara Kaw Shan series, renowned for its distinctive gameplay mechanics and physics-driven platforming. At the heart of Umara Kaw Shan lies a captivating story that's focused on a young protagonist named Umihara. In her quest through various levels, players find themselves armed with not conventional platforming tools, but with an ingenious fishing rod. What sets this game apart is the presence of an elastic fishing line, which when skillfully manipulated allows players to swing gracefully, climb strategically, and even trap adversaries. The primary objective is to skillfully navigate each level, all while sidestepping a plethora of hazards and adversaries to reach the elusive exit. This elastic fishing line introduces a dynamic element to platforming, requiring players to master the art of physics-based movement. As Umara Kaw Shan traverses her perilous journey, players must grapple with the intricacies of swinging across gaps, strategically climbing structures, and outsmarting enemies using the unauthorized unorthodox fishing rod. It's different, to say the least. This one has garnered a dedicated fanbase for its endearing art style characterised by its charming and distinctive design. The visuals contribute to the game's overall appeal, creating a world that resonates with players and enhances the gaming journey. Throughout the years, the Umara Kaw Shan series has evolved, making appearances on various gaming platforms such as different PlayStation consoles, Nintendo 3DS and PC. Despite the passage of time, the game is still vastly different from most others on the market, serving as a key reason as to why you would need to give this one a go. Anyway, if you enjoyed this episode, make sure you subscribe, then check out my other video on Japanese Sony PlayStation exclusives right now.